Father McGrath, I thought you were dead.
I was!
I'm Vinnie, these are the best games of 2018, and this is Recent Review. So I have been gone a long time, and if you want to know all the juicy details about why I left, why I came back, all that other stuff, you can check the description below for another video where I go all over that, but that's not the time and place for that. This video is solely talking about all the great games I played in 2018, just because I wasn't making videos doesn't mean I stopped playing games. There was a lot of great games in 2018, a lot of games I have a lot of opinions, some good, some bad on, but I figured instead of doing a bunch of mini little separate reviews, I'll just lump it all together in this one big mega review talking about all the great and the bad 2018 had to offer. They're going to be in no particular order. There's just going to be games I played in 2018, be that new releases or HD upgrades or remasters or just games that I hadn't touched on my backlog until last year. But with all of that out of the way, let's just get straight into it.
4 women, all murdered, all with messages.
The examiner received a new letter today.
Tell me what I want to know, or I will have half the LAPD down here tearing this place apart.
If ever there was a time for extracting a confession, this was it! L.A. Noire.
So L.A. Noire was one of those games that I just never got around to when it first came out. It was the wrong time, wrong place, but definitely I wanted to check it out and had it on my backlog for a while. So when it came to the Switch, I thought, hey, this is a perfect opportunity to show Rockstar I want GTA 5 on the Switch, but also to show try this game that I missed so many years ago. And I figured it's Rockstar, they're one of my favorite developers, it's going to be a great game, and it's kind of pretty disappointing. It's very reminiscent of me of Mafia 2 because much in that game you have this big open world and there's not really that much to do in it. It's aside from a couple dispatch missions and some random cars to find, that's pretty much it. And even the cars you can find, yeah, they have different stats and all that, but the missions will always start you out in your cop car, so it's kind of no point to unlock those other cars because you just have to drive halfway across the map to get them. But the biggest issue with L.A. Noire is it has a great presentation. The attention to detail is spot on and great, and the music and all that other stuff is great. The story just leaves a lot to be desired because Cole Phelps is just this boring, straight-laced, by-the-books character, and there's not even this real big overarching plot. Like at first I thought they start to pepper a little bit of what I thought would become the overarching plot, but that's solved by the first half of the game, and then it's just you doing missions as this cop in Los Angeles, which is fine and good, but the characters are all just bland stereotypes of characters from that time period, and again, there's no big overarching plot for you to sink your teeth into, so really it's just kind of okay. It's nothing that amazing.
I'm going in for the kill. I'm doing it for the thrill. I'm hoping you'll understand and not let go of my hand.
Bayonetta.
So Bayonetta, also like L.A. Noire, was one of those franchises I just missed last gen and I always wanted to go back to, but now I figure with Bayonetta 3 coming on the horizon and then re-releasing the first 2 games on the Switch, I'm like, hey, perfect time, I can see what the series is all about, get really excited for the third one. And in a stark contrast to L.A. Noire, this also has really poor story. I don't even remember what happened. It's just angels versus witches. But the difference is Bayonetta herself as a character is so fun and so engaged, and I was really interested to see how she reacted to situations and just hearing her witty banter and be fun and playful. And there's a couple moments where they try to make her be a bit more serious and a bit more grounded, and those moments aren't as fun, but just seeing Bayonetta just be happy and fun and enjoying the things she does. She's really an engaging character, and I do want to see what they have for her going forward in Bayonetta 3. My problem with Bayonetta 1 is more so a own personal problem with my own, but it's the fact that the game is just too tough, and I really could not enjoy the game that much. Again, that's entirely on me. I only knew like maybe 2 or 3 combos, but it would just make the game a slog, and I would be getting like bronze, basic level trophies and medals. And then once I pushed past all that and dropped it down to easy, it just became this mindless button masher. It wasn't really as fun as engaging, which really sucks because, again, seeing Bayonetta do this over-the-top, crazy, wacky stuff is so fun and engaging, and I wanted to see more of that. It's just, I wish the game was a little bit more forgiving for a new beginner. So, Spider-Man is one of my favorite superheroes. I love him. He's great. I've played lots of Spider-Man games in the past. So going into this one, I really did not have that much excitement. But again, it was also Insomniac. It was a first-party title. I was really looking forward to it. And Spider-Man is this very weird game where I think it's more indicative of the kind of year we've had in 2018 as opposed to the game itself. But it is a solid, okay game, which in 2018 is not enough anymore, unfortunately. Like, the story is okay, the acting is okay, the combat's okay, the presentation's okay. Nothing's bad, nothing's awful, nothing's, like, really, really wrong with it. But it's just, because everything's okay, there's nothing that really shines or excels or, you know, jumps out and makes me go like, wow, what an amazing game. Like, what, like, I'm gonna remember this for years to come. Like, even, to be quite honest, like, it's more or less on par with the other Spider-Man games, like Ultimate Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2 and all that. It doesn't really do anything that crazy or revolutionary that makes it stand apart from the rest. Kind of like Smash Brothers or sports game. It's the best by default if it's the most recent one, but it doesn't really do anything that unique and different. I do like the fact that they have the puzzles to kind of show Peter's side of it and not just being 100% Spider-Man. But again, it's such a weird way to describe this game because I love it, it's great, I really have no complaints with it. I 100%ed it, I platinumed it, it's great, easy platinum, super doable, but it's just, I kind of wanted more from this game and I only got just good.
My son, we do not fight because the world makes us fight. We fight for a greater purpose. No matter the darkness, nothing will stand in our way. Again.
So God of War is one of those games where everyone talked about how great it is, how amazing it is, it hyped it up, it's won multiple Game of the Year awards, and unfortunately, I just don't understand the hype. Don't get me wrong, again, it is a great, fantastic 9 out of 10, amazing game, I love it, it's really good. I just don't understand necessarily the accolades and all this stuff that people saying it's genre defining and it changes game, it's PlayStation needs to like relook all, they make all their, it's just okay. It's a good game, but it's not this revolutionary thing that I think other people are making it out to be. My biggest problem with it is, again, the plot is pretty much just Kratos and his son running around doing fetch quests so they can bury his wife's ashes on this mountain. And that's it. Like, yes, there's little twists and turns and you learn more about this world and the characters and all that stuff, but like, I was more engaged in the actual character moments than I was with the plot. And one of my biggest problems with this plot is much like how the DC films have gone, they'll just introduce stuff and go like, oh, hey, this is an Easter egg for a later game. Like, you can tell there's a lot of stuff going like, hey, this doesn't make sense right now, but in God of War 3 or 4, like, that's gonna make more sense. Which I can understand to a certain point, but in terms of the game we're given right now with that's it, like, oh, we have the information, it does leave a lot because you're like, well, why did this happen? Why does it happen? Like, the story just raises more questions than it answers, and not in a good way. But that being said, the performances are great. I love Kratos, I love Atreus, I love the little talking head you get, I love the scribbling blacksmith brothers. Like, all the characters are great. The combat is fantastic. But again, like Bayonetta, it's just too damn tough. And whereas Bayonetta, I like switched the difficulty halfway through, God of War, when I dropped it, I was actually in the middle of the final boss. So I more or less beat the game on normal difficulty. But it just, because I would die, repeat, it ruined a lot of the pacing and a lot of the flow for the game with me, and I couldn't enjoy it as much because of that. So yeah, I enjoy it. It's a great game. I just don't think it deserves all the hype it is getting.
This whole thing is pretty much done. Wake him up a little!
If you follow me for a while, you know one of my favorite genres is open world games because of the fact that you can do those long missions or play for long periods, or you can just go, hey, I've only got 15-20 minutes, let me do this base, let me do this neighborhood, let me get these collectibles. Red Dead 2 is kind of the exact polar opposite, because this is a game you have to play in like hour and a half, 2 hour minimum chunks. You really have to soak and engage yourself in these worlds. And it's a lot to ask, but once you do give yourself into this game and you understand the game it's trying to tell, it is probably one of my favorite, most great games of all time, because it's, again, like I said before, you can have a poor story but with great characters. And again, Red Dead story is very bland. It's literally just, for the entire game, at least so far that I've played, it's been, hey, you're trying to earn money so you can, run away and hide from the cops. And that's it. Like, it's just you doing different tasks and different jobs for criminals, the law, all this other. It's just you earning money so you can run away with this gang. But because you spend so long riding and talking and feeding your camp and doing missions with them and just relaxing and playing poker and all this other stuff, you learn so much about these characters. Again, this is a game you can't rush. You have to take it very slow. It's very deliberate. So, which is a big thing to ask, but when it works, it's just so engaging, because even Arthur Morgan at the start of the game, I'm like, I don't like him, he's kind of an asshole, he's kind of a jerk. But over a long period of time, you learn his character, you learn all this, and this game is very deliberate and very slow, and I understand that's a lot to ask of people to put such a time engagement into this game. But when it works, it just works so well.
ずっとパスずっとパスゲットパスカットパス張り飛ばす吹き飛ばすバスガス爆発試すミステリアス撃ち落とすリオレルススススススススマブラススススススマブラ任天堂スイッチ大乱闘スマッシュブラザーズスペシャルススマブラ
So Smash Brothers, in stark contrast to Red Dead, which was more about presentation and tone and setting as opposed to gameplay, Smash Brothers is 100% about gameplay and less about fluff and setting and pomp and all this other stuff. And in many ways, like, it kind of sucks that there's no home run derby or break the target or there's other stuff, and even the World of Light mode, which is fun and engaging, I'll give it that, but it's basically just a glorified event mode, and the spirit board almost renders it like redundant since you basically had the same gameplay between the two. It's still just such a fun, engaging game. Like, again, yes, there's other games that have better visuals or better story or better characters or whatever, but the fact that everyone's here, they're all balanced well, the fact that even characters like Toon Link and Young Link have slight, tiny differences. No character was overlooked, every stage is lovingly crafted. It's just a fun, engaging game. And even stuff like the Spirit Board, which is, again, like I said, it's just a glorified event mode. It's still just so fun to see the different combinations, the way they interpret characters. Sometimes they're like spot on, like, oh my god, I feel like I'm fighting this character. Other times it's like, alright, I'm tired of seeing Charizard just used as a dragon for like the 30th time. But at the end of the day, it was so fun, and it doesn't matter if it was classic mode, or No More Smash, or Spirits mode, or whatever. I just wanted to play this game over and over and over again. Drain battery, charge it, drain it again. It's such a fun, engaging game. And if Red Dead is my game of the year in terms of presentation and tone and what it does for gaming, Smash Brothers would absolutely be my game of the year in terms of just absolute fun and enjoyment and just such a great, happy game.
Oh, you did